Wade Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
It's time for miscellaneous news, folks. Speak of taxpayer dollars, man. Two arrested on murder charges following former WWE developmental wrestler's death. So I'm not sure what happened, but this F4W site, like, I just hate clicking on it. It legitimately glitches out your Google Chrome browser, but passed away. And Ric Flair had this to say about it. Bob Caudle was a great friend and someone who helped me develop my interview skills. You were a great man, Bob, and you will be remembered forever as one of the greatest announcers of all time. Cherish all the time that I got to spend with you. Rest in peace, my dear friend. And man, Flair outlasting a lot of folks from his day. No, Caudle, I think, was a lot older than him. So thank you. New Japan Global says we have sold out our configuration for Wrestle Kingdom 20 in the Tokyo Dome 7 weeks in advance. So this poster rules, and yeah, they sold out the Tokyo Dome. Their configuration, though, they say it flat out. They don't say it's a sellout. They say it's a sellout for our setup. And they sold it out 7 weeks in advance. So now it's just extra tickets. And Okada being on it is a big deal. Unfortunate Shinsuke won't be there. All good, though. And I wonder, I don't think they're pairing it with a AEW show the next night or whatever. I don't think they're trying to do that this year, which is like good. And then their America show, it's not like New Gen AEW coming at, like, it's not being promoted like that. It's just a nude show. And obviously they like their relationship with AEW, but this poster is largely nude guys. And a story came out. Meltzer posted about this earlier before I came on the air here and report not all New Japan contracts expire in January. So just a quick synopsis, I guess kind of what's been happening and the rumors that have been floating around is like, okay, people's deals are from January to January. And like they're signing shorter deals because New Japan's kind of hurting. And they're trying to get back into 2 to 3 year deals with people. And the rumors were like, dude, after this Wrestle Kingdom show, bunch of people that you see on it are going to just walk out and Tony Khan's going to poach them and a bunch of them are going to leave and do this and that. You know, David Finlay, you know, Tony Khan would love to have him and whatnot. So apparently Dave put out a report that like, that's not true. Not all these contracts are expiring in January. There are a lot of, it's like staggered, you know? So like throughout next year, there will be people's deals who come up in Nuge, but it's not all happening like right at the top of the year like everyone anticipated. I think that's my interpretation of this. And what had happened was, I guess they had a meeting. This, according to the Wrestling Observer. I read the article earlier, and I guess they agreed that they're going to start signing guys like 2 to 3 years again to really lock them in and like reestablish a main core group of guys. Because there was a while there, again, like a decade ago or just a little less, where you could rifle off, people could rifle off the Nuge roster. Like you could rifle off 20 names, and now you say those same names, and it's like, okay, these guys are all in WWE or, well, they're in AEW mostly. Most of them are in AEW right now. You know, a handful are in WWE, or they're just off doing other. And yeah, so shout out Nuge. I hope they get it together. Partner with WWE. Just Tony Khan. It's all good. I know that it's like, and so Major League Wrestling, MLW, has officially announced it is moving its league headquarters from New York, to Charleston, South Carolina. And why are people moving to South Carolina? That's like a thing, man. Is there like good taxes there or something? Tax purposes, maybe some of the laws there. You know what I mean? MLWC, I'm not saying that at all about MLW. I have no clue. I'm truly speculating. There's other people who are like, we're out of New York. We're heading to South Carolina. Charleston isn't just hosting MLW anymore. It's home. I'm thrilled to officially announce that MLW is moving its league headquarters to Charleston, South Carolina. The move will bring production, creative, and live event jobs to Charleston and take a bunch out of New York, dude. The first event since the announcement, the MLW Don Gato Tequila Live Special, takes place this Thursday, November 20. Full card for MLW Don Gato Tequila. It went down already. We covered a bit of it, I think, on another show, maybe tonight. I'm not sure. So many of these goddamn things. Hit the like button. MLW World Heavyweight Champion in a bunkhouse match, Mads Krul versus Brock Anderson. The Opera Cup Finals, Mystico versus Volador Jr. So they're just plugging away. But yeah, Court Bauer taking that Federation money and the little bump he's been doing in business lately. And he's taken off to South Carolina. Probably save some money on taxes there. We talked about MLW, though, and here is that Don Gatto show. Here's Scarlett getting a W.
To defeat your opponent with her own husband's finishing maneuver. Talk about finishing things!
Beating Isla Dawn.
That, I believe, was the Scarlet Letter!
And I like what MLW's doing, like those moving video boards. It can be a little bit distracting, but if they play that card right, they could absolutely do like the studio style shows, pack them, and then you could have like a background. Like, I mean, it works, man. It works. It does. As long as the crowd noise, there is real people there, you could do. I mean, this can be a bit distracting, but you could really do this correctly and make it thematic for every pay-per-view you do and shit like that. And it could totally work, and it's different. I'm all for different in wrestling, you know, and figuring out ways to let's fill the building, make it loud, put on a good TV show. That's what we're doing.
Show Scarlett Bordeaux! Well, certainly Killer Cross has to be looking on with a devilish smile on his face all his own. Whoa!
And then Isla Dawn starts like making out with her.
Isla Dawn leaving her exclamation point on the equation. I don't think I've ever seen anybody react to a loss that way.
And like Scarlett's a decent wrestler. I could see like in my 2K mode if Carrion teamed up and Scarlett teamed up with the Unholy Union, Isla and Alba. You know, that might go down in the universe mode, you know, that's some decent, but so I could see her crossing over with them more a little bit, and it would be fitting, not to say that she has to do the witchy stuff she's doing in WWE, but I'm all good with all of this. MLW's doing some good shit, and I'm glad Isla Dawn isn't in AEW. I gotta be honest, like I know she made a couple appearances there. Some people were saying she got heat while she was back there. I don't know. It seems like you fucking sneeze the wrong way and you get heat in AEW, which is funny because that's what people would say about Vince McMahon. But either way, Isla Dawn, I think she'd be more effective in like an MLW, a TNA. I want to see MLW and some of these other feds get some more fucking shine, dude. Wrestling, there's money. There's big money going into wrestling again. Yeah, lots of people are putting on good shows now, and that's what's key. And again, MLW, they focus a lot on the storytelling, more so than like, here's going to be the craziest match. Now, yes, they will go crazy with like the lucha shit and the deathmatch shit, and they, you know, they've done some out there shit, but they put together good packages. Everybody's a character that you care about. Shit means stuff. Shit means things. Stuff means stuff. In MLW, like this moment here, the kiss, and then they're focusing on Isla. Well, what is she planning? Why'd she plant that kiss? Even though she lost this match, let's add some intrigue to her, you know? Just something AEW doesn't know how to do. So I'm all down for it. And Scarlett, not the greatest wrestler in the world, although she's pretty good at what she does, and like the limited amount. I don't need to see her doing flip destroyers and these fucking reverse pile drivers and shit. I don't care about none of that, but it is what it is, and she's getting like her solo opportunity to wrestle solo a little bit. She doesn't need to be attached across his hip, clearly, to get a reaction and whatnot. So Thrillbilly, speaking of Puro Wrestleru at NWA Power, NWA 77, Thrillbilly Silas Mason won the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, and Tom Latimer's reign comes to an end just shy of a year, and Latimer rules.
He went for the power bomb.
So hit him with the thrill ride, the Thrillbilly. Beating Latimer, who should be in the Fed, but won't be in the Fed because I guess he was married to Charlotte Flair or whatever. Just laying flat as fuck on the ground.
Unbelievable! Primetime Daddy Deals! Unbelievable! Silas Mason has done it! Silas Mason has done it! Silas Mason is your new NWA World's Heavyweight Champion! And he did it all alone! He did it by himself!
Hell yeah, dude. Shout out to Thrill Billy with the Thrill Ride. That's an awesome name and finish name. The Shotzi era begins now. So speaking of the Indies, House of Glory Wrestling did a show, and the new Hog Women's Champion is Shotzi Blackheart. So they're doing great crowds too for Hog. JD, I was booked for this one. They booked me for this one. Monet wasn't there. I asked my boss if Monet would be there. He says she wouldn't be. So they're running with her, dude. Right on. It's a nice title. Good for Shotzi. Making waves on the Indies, bringing eyeballs. Speaking of the Indies and bringing eyeballs, Chris Danger. So Chris Danger is a guy named Dankops on YouTube. And and like Twitch and shit, I guess. He's like a gamer. And he prominently likes wrestling games. But he plays other shit as well. But he's not really posted a lot of content. I think his channel, like, I mean, he still does numbers, but I think it's kind of fallen off as far as he's been pursuing like becoming a pro wrestler. And it's funny because he was talking shit. We covered it on the show. He was like, put some tweet out like something about taking spots from guys or like, oh, the boys or whatever the fuck. And it's like, bro, you're an influencer who took spots from the boys because of your fucking fame. You're in positions you shouldn't be in, you know, in wrestling. And he's wrestling this guy BDE, I guess, who is another influencer. He's like a social media wrestling influencer guy who actually is wrestling. These guys had a match against each other.
Fucking Mark!
And here's what went down.
Sorry. I love you.
Like, I'm sure it brings some eyeballs. I'm sure it's good for these indies. It's okay when you work with social media influencers and stuff. You just got to know what you're doing. Like, I don't care that AEW works with Big Boom AJ. He's one of the most interesting things on their fucking show, to be perfectly honest. And he's not even really on the show. He's just on the pay-per-views. I don't care when WWE works with, look at how Logan Paul played out and shit. So this is cool. But I don't want to see Dankops again fucking taking shots at WWE because for any fucking reason, when it's like you took spots. Like, it's not like you guys were out there. It looks like you're having the greatest match of all time. It's the same goddamn thing. You parlayed your playing wrestling video games into being a wrestler. And this BDE guy, I guess, was on TNA. And they're at least working hard at it and taking it seriously. So I'm not like going to bury them, but I will if Dankops talks shit again about any other Fed, even if he talks shit about AEW and influencers or whatever the fuck, whatever comment he made. I forget, but we covered it on the show. I would tell him to shut the fuck up either way, but good guy. So speaking of like pro wrestling debuts, I don't know, that's not a debut, but Steven Borden, making his debut at DEFY Wrestling. Sting's son is wrestling his first independent match in Seattle for DEFY, looking just like his father. He looks identical to his dad. It's actually scary. And he's doing his own thing. He's not just like painting his face, but I think he'll start doing that one day. But here's the thing. Old Sting did kind of look like that as well. Well, younger Sting, because he looks just like, but just wearing the black tights, like he would do that, I think, with Warrior when they were Blade Runners. They would just wear black, but I did think they did do face paint, but they would just wear the black tights or whatever. And he had his short hair, but it was like the normal hair color before he started bleaching it. And it's like frightening how much he looks like his dad. Now, I think we have a couple clips of this, and goddamn, I hope to God AEW doesn't sink their fucking fangs into this guy, because he's never going to. Maybe he will. Maybe his dad will be in his ear, in his corner, but the potential here, just looking at this guy, it's Sting 2, bro. Like, I don't know how old Steven Borden is, but I think he has more potential. Because like Sting wasn't the greatest wrestler of all time. He had some awesome matches, but he wasn't like the greatest wrestler of all time. But he was solid. He was really good, and just he had something about him, just that aura. This kid's got that, and he just seems to have good instincts. But I actually don't know how old he is. I'm going to look it up.
The Hall of Famer, the Enigma. Walked in and laid eyes on him. That's a guy who likes to be left alone.
So he's in his 30s. That's all anyone knows.
And he looks like his dad. He kind of wrestles like his dad.
Man, I think we have another clip of that. It's just frightening. It should be Grease Lightning. Look at Steven Borden go. He's doing drop downs, doing all the basics, leapfrog, arm drag. Yeah, so pretty much just that clip we watched. Just, I don't know, dude. He has tremendous upside. He's in his 30s. I just hope AEW doesn't fuck around and have like the Bucks teaching him or whatever, you know? Hannibal, the Hannibal TV. I'm Hannibal TV, Hannibal. He's addressing Marty Jannetty's false allegations, I guess, towards him. So go and check that out, I guess. That's not bookmarked here, but I'm just seeing that off to the side. And again, Marty Jannetty, it's not even worth responding to. It's anything he says is just crazy. But Hulk Hogan's son, Nick Hogan, says he's training to start his in-ring wrestling career. And he told that to TMZ Sports. I don't think he'll make it in wrestling. It's just he's too young getting into it. Too young to fall in love. Too young to fall in love with pro wrestling. It's just he would have got into it by now if he was gonna. And yeah, who would book Nick Hogan? I just don't think. Moving along here. Speaking of people's children, the Heartbreak Kid's daughter made her gear appearance at Damaged Goods. It's a reference to the gear inspo, and people thought this was, and her titties are almost falling out there. Her name's Rachel Lee, and she's not HBK's daughter. I guess people like, look, it got 15K likes and all that, and she's underneath here going, guys, I'm not Shawn Michaels' daughter. It's a reference to the gear inspo, but it's like people thought it was really his daughter. I guess check her out. It went super viral for the wrong reason, you know? So Goldberg, speaking of going viral for the wrong reason, man, he went viral recently again, not really viral, just IWC viral, for he reportedly walking out of an autograph sign. And KNS WrestleFest, a wrestling event and memorabilia vendor, has issued a public statement and apology to its customers via Facebook, claiming a scheduled private signing with Goldberg did not happen. In the post, the company allegedly that they had their items ready for Goldberg, but he was attending to another vendor first. After he was done, he got up and said he was done. He walked out past our stuff and left. KNS WrestleFest wrote, the vendor added, we are all super disappointed and frustrated. My apologies to all. And then it came out that I guess he was scheduled. He was there for like 5 hours, and he was scheduled for 5 hours, and he went 5 straight hours, no break, and then he just took off. Not really a dick move. He was there for his allotted time. I mean, it sucks for those fans, but if he's not getting paid for more than that, then, and obviously he's like every piece of merch they buy and shit. I'm sure he had some at the table, but I bet he sold out of everything that he brought. Right. So what's he supposed to do? Just not. Then Goldberg doesn't give a fuck. Obviously, they just kind of like ignore that she happened. Well, they don't ignore it, but they talk about it whenever they get a chance in like these A&E shows and shit. But WWE themselves, like What the fuck? So the allegations that Goldberg walked out before a private autograph session with KNS Wrestling, it was, yeah, so we talked about this. It was, they just said, look, he was there for 5 hours. We talked about it. Hall of Famer Tori Wilson announces that she has become a mother at age 50 via a surrogate. I'm not knocking this at all, but people, there's a, you know, online, a lot of people are criticizing these celebs and like these rich people just using surrogates now and basically like adopting their kid. So speaking of fucking legend, and shout out Tori Wilson, by the way, and congrats on her and her new family for sure. And if anybody's going to live to 200 years old, speaking about scientific anomalies, it's going to be fucking Tori Wilson. That's for goddamn sure. But speaking of these old broads, am I right, fellas? At her recent Grammy Salute concert, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Cyndi Lauper starts out by thanking the wrestlers. The wrestlers. A nice tip of the hat some 40 years later. Now, they need to induct Cyndi Lauper, the WWE Hall of Fame. They need to. It's like so long overdue. Yeah, she thanks the wrestlers here again. Drew Barrymore, I think, recently asked her.
Good evening. I have an extraordinary amount of friends that wanted to come out and join me tonight, so you'll be seeing that. And I also want to thank the wrestlers. You know, I was a wrestling manager, so I know a few moves. Don't try me. Okay. But I want to thank Captain Lou Albano, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Freddie Blassie, all the wrestlers that made it so much fun, and for all the people that used to say to me, "Oh, what are you doing with all those wrestlers? What the heck?" You know, I was having fun, and they were making my life so much fun.
Oh, girl, just wanna have fun. Yeah, I can't believe they have not inducted her. Triple H, man, mend that bridge.